So this is a one-slide video, and it's in their own words. These are direct quotes from students who are letting their teachers know how they feel in class. Okay, so this isn't directly related to building background, but it's just a reminder for you to think about who's in your class, who's your audience, and how they are feeling in class. That social emotional learning piece and really checking in with the kids and making sure they're okay is paramount for us, because they're not going to learn if they're not invested. They're not going to be invested if they feel like they don't belong. So I'm just going to read these to you because I would like you to, as I read them, I would like you to contemplate maybe if students may say this in your class. Okay? So, some examples. Please use easier words. Explain important words with smaller words. Please speak slowly and clearly. Please write more clearly on the board. Don't give difficult words in test questions. And I would say, and I'll make some comments along the way, difficult words are okay if they've been taught. So if the expectation was that you're going to learn this word, like photosynthesis, then you can expect to see it on the test. But if it's a complicated word that has nothing to do with the content and the topic we're learning, then that's where you want to simplify that language. Repeat what other students say when they say questions or give an answer. And that's wonderful. When I see teachers restating what students are saying, when students share or respond, and the teacher restates what they've said, it's great to give everyone else access, because not all students speak very loudly in class, or a little self-conscious, or they're not public speakers. So it's great for you to restate what they say first so they hear it in more formal language. You're validating their response, and everyone else gets access to it as well. So that one is huge. Let us explain things in our own language to people who don't understand something, especially when we're working in partners, collaborative groups. We need to flip into that native language for a moment to get this concept. Let's do it. And then let's look at those keywords in English to be able to articulate those ideas. Give me more time to do my work, because I am doing double duty. I'm doing language and content. Please tell about tests earlier, so I have no excuses. If I know that there's a test coming, and I know that there are these videos and these resources online that I can look at, then it's on me, and I'm accountable to make sure I prepare. Please write answers on the board. Give us more time to write down things from the board, or give them a study guide with the fill in the blanks. That way they don't have to write everything. Things are there, but now they have to fill in. Okay. Also giving them the PowerPoint presentations. And you can translate the PowerPoint presentations into native language text as well. They can do that. Right? As they get older, they can start to manage and have these strategies. Don't give us paper without explaining what to do. Don't always write homework on board when light flashes, end of class signal. We're all guilty of that. Okay, at least I am. Okay, at the last minute, oh, you've got to go. Time goes this fast. Quickly, this is what your homework is. That's tough. Now kids have phones, they can take a picture of it, so it's easier. But try to let the students know in advance what the expectations are. Explain the homework, please. It is good that some of my teachers allow us to work together. That's huge, huge, huge. The more students can work together and collaborate, the more effective the processing will be and the outcomes will be. When we have a chance to answer a question, make the other students quiet, because it takes a time to transfer thoughts into words. We need think time. We need that wait time, which is really hard for us to give our kids because time is of the essence. But they really do need that think time, which is why we have students sometimes who pose a question, they have 30 seconds to a minute to do a quick write, start getting their ideas, or they have 30 seconds to a minute to talk with a peer, and then they can share out because they've had that processing time. Come to ESL students during quiet working to ask how they understood. It's a check for understanding. Try to wait if just 2 or 3 people raise their hands for the others. Okay. I don't like it when my teacher don't tell me how to do work while I never done, which I never done before. Okay, it's intimidating. I have no idea what to do. You want me to write this whole essay on pickleball? I'm not really sure. I got a little bit of an idea of what pickleball is because I saw the video and I saw the pictures, but I can't talk a lot about it. I don't have a lot of knowledge on it. Can I speak Japanese in lesson? Okay, again, can I share use my linguistic resources that I have? If it's a conceptual piece and I'm trying to make sense of the concept, I can use whatever language I have, and then you can give me the keywords in English so I can articulate them. Stand near me when I must answer a question, especially if it's in front of a class. It's very intimidating in front of 20, 30 other kids to be talking in front of everybody, because I'm very mindful of the fact that I'm developing my English and it doesn't sound like everyone else's. And especially as we get into adolescence where they become so self-conscious and everything is about their peers, they don't want to look bad in front of their peers, and they will do anything to avoid that. Punish the students who make fun of our poor English. That's that culture and climate of respect that we have in our classrooms, that we are all learning and we're all in this together, and the fact that this kid has poor English is indicative of the fact that he's got a whole other language already, at least 1, maybe 2. So he's actually working on his 2nd or 3rd language, which is pretty cool. Again, it's a strength-based perspective. Don't pick me in lesson because I can't answer. I can't answer, so don't cold call me. Give me a heads up, let me do a think, pair, share, but please don't cold call me because I'm still trying to process the question. Or I maybe am lost, and that's where that check for understanding comes in. Even I answered wrong, don't laugh. Okay, and sometimes we laugh with the kids, but really it turns out to be we're laughing at the kids. So be very mindful of that, because that's how they feel. Okay, they feel like they're being laughed at. I don't like it when my teacher picked naughty boys sit beside me. Of course, I've seen teachers do that. Well, the kid who's a problem, well, he's not going to talk to this kid, he doesn't speak much English, so I'll just put him over there and he'll be quiet. That's not very nice, because it's not fair to the ELL kid to have this kid next to him. I don't like it when my teacher acts to me like stupid just because I am ESL student. Again, we have a strength-based perspective. They have this at least one whole other language that they speak and that they are familiar with, and now they're working on their additional language, which is really impressive. And not only are they acquiring the language, they're also acquiring the content concepts at the exact same time, and that is super complicated. So to look at them with a different set of eyes is really important, and the respectful and right thing to do. So your food for thought on this one is, what would your kids say? And even better yet, what will they say? Will you ask them? Are you in a position where you're comfortable enough to do a Google form with the kids and say, hey, I've got some questions. How are you doing in this class? What would make you feel more comfortable in this class? And they can be like, well, not having class or homework would be great. Like, no, that's not an option. You're here to learn. So how can I make your learning easier? How can I facilitate your learning? And making it anonymous, and promise not to do handwriting analysis. And that's the nice thing about Google Forms, since it's typed, you don't know who wrote the responses. So giving them a little anonymity will allow them to freely express their ideas. You could even show them these examples, and say, do you feel like this at all, ever? And if you do, I really want you to let me know. And I know you're not going to come and talk to me about it during office hours, because that's not something that's done. But maybe you can send me an email or an anonymous, or through this Google form, you can let me know how you're feeling. All right, so this is one way to get in touch with the kids and to reach out and to make those connections. And then hopefully, based on the information they give you, you can adjust your instruction accordingly. And they will feel much more empowered to be learners, that they'll understand that you respect that they are learners and that you're going to do everything possible for them to learn effectively and efficiently in your class.